Caesar, can you zoom in just a bit just so we can make sure everyone can see the screen clearly? Thank you. So the first tab that we're going to review together is the academic progress. So that will be the one to your left. So in academic progress, again, this is more so giving you a snapshot of your cumulative GPA, your credits and residence, which is essentially the credits that you take at Madison College in-house. And then if we scroll down, Caesar, we should be seeing courses not used. So these can be courses that fall outside of your degree program. And sometimes, you know, they could be classes that's just not applicable to your degree program. So some students kind of take a few classes at Madison College that may fall outside of their program. So you may see some credits there. And also you will see your program GPA here. To your left, you will see a tab that says degree progress reports. So when you meet with an academic advisor, usually they will begin by reviewing your degree progress report with you. I usually always provide students a copy, but just so you know, you have access to view your degree progress report on your own, and you can actually view it as a PDF as well here. And then the next thing I wanted to highlight was you will be able to see, you maybe can't not see if you are a first year student, but if you're a continuing student for sure, you will be able to see your assigned academic advisor. So this should be updated in our system. And, you know, for those who do not have an advisor assigned to them right now, you will have one. So this is where you'll be able to find it. So the next tab is academic records. And then for this one, it's really great because you can actually see your course history. So all of the courses that you have taken at Madison College, and you can also see the grade you have taken at Madison College. You also can see, you know, based upon each term, so if you wanted to go back to fall or, you know, a previous semester or summer term, you can always go back and review your grades. In addition, you have the opportunity to access your unofficial transcripts, and then you can actually request your official transcripts. So in regards to transcripts, usually you will see students actually requesting official transcripts if they are planning to transfer to an institution. So this is where you will actually see or you will probably need assistance, or, you know, if you're applying to a four-year institution, they are requesting your official transcripts from Madison College. You'll also see placement scores, which is really important. So as you are working with your advisors, usually they're looking at your placement scores, making sure you are in the appropriate classes. So if you wanted to kind of look at these yourself, or you took an IQ Placer exam and wanted to see your scores, this is where you'll be able to see that information. As well as the next thing I wanted to highlight was the accommodation plan. This is really important for anyone who may have received accommodations in high school or in a prior educational setting, or if you may have a disability or learning disability. We do have disability resource services available at Madison College. So we just want to make sure that you get the appropriate accommodations just so you're successful at Madison College. So Caesar can share that link with you, but yeah, that is a great resource and we want to make sure that you have those accommodations.
Wrong link. Ignore that one. Technology issues here.
It's okay. Yep. So the next one is my finances. So here is where you will be able to see your account balance. You'll also be able to make payments if necessary. And you'll also be able to set up your e-refund. So setting up an e-refund is like if you got financial aid or got scholarships and you got more than what your tuition is, you will more than likely get a refund. If you set this up electronically, it will be direct deposited into your account. If you do not set this up electronically, you will receive a paper check, which takes approximately 3 weeks to receive. So most students like to do the e-refund just so they can kind of get it sooner. The other thing you'll see here is the 1098T tax form, which you don't normally see this unless it's like around the tax season, or you don't like, you like, what? If you go and do your taxes, usually your tax professional will ask you, do you have a 1098T if you are a student? So with the 1098T form, it is essentially a tuition statement. You could potentially claim the 2,500 American Opportunity credit if you qualify for it on your federal tax return. So again, that is something that you can get around like January when the tax season is here. Also, I would say applying for FAFSA is really important. So many of you may have applied for FAFSA if you qualify. FAFSA is available every academic year, and you have to renew your FAFSA every academic year. And you have to renew it October 1st at the earliest. So this is something that we will remind you as RISE advisors and coaches. So if you need assistance or have questions pertaining to your FAFSA, please let us know. But usually we do refer you to financial aid if it's any specific questions that we will not be able to answer. Okay.
And I am trying to multitask here, so I am inputting our fall 2021 important dates in the chat. You will also get this through an email later on. So again, moving down this list, the next tab you're going to be looking at is going to be the financial aid tab. Again, this is using my student account. I don't apply for financial aid. Took classes a couple times, but this is where you're going to be finding all your information regarding financial aid, messages, uh, grants that you were accepted. All that information is going to show up here. Again, we as the RISE team can help you understand what financial aid is talking about in some of the cases, but we are not experts. That's why we have Rhoda McKinney, who's going to be later on presenting with us, that will share more information about this. The next tab is going to be classes. Classes, if you have met with one of us in the past, you should be familiar with this tab. This is where you are going to be enrolling and viewing your shopping cart, doing a lot of the things regarding your academics, including ordering your textbooks. A lot of students have had questions about, how do I order my textbooks? Once you are enrolled in classes, when you click view my classes, you're going to be able to see basically English, math, whichever class you are taking. But right at the top, you will see a button that says order my textbooks. You can't see it on mine because again, I'm not enrolled in classes, but you should be able to see it on it, and it will walk you through step by step how to order the books assigned to your class. Same thing with shopping cart. If you have any classes that you're going to be enrolling in, they're going to be appearing here. Class search and enroll, again by term. This is where you're going to be looking for your classes, keyword topics, etc. As you can see, I've searched for many classes here, and they just get saved. One of the important dates in that calendar, it's the swap don't drop date.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Swap don't drop. Dropping a class will affect, once it started, will affect your completion rate, which in turn might affect your financial rate. You need to maintain a 67% completion rate, meaning 67% of the credits you take in a semester, you need to pass. Again, if you have more questions about that, you can always talk to us and we'll be happy to explain a little bit more. But you have a button here that says swap classes. If you're having an issue with the class, there is a deadline for both Pell Grant students to be able to get their actual grant money for the class they're taking. There is a deadline for that, and then there's a deadline also to swap classes into a different section, different class that you might be interested in taking, which it's all in our dates, which will go down the list later on. Our enrollment dates, each of you have an enrollment date. As RISE students, you have priority registration. That's one of the
Mhm.
perks of being within our RISE programs. You get to enroll in classes, I want to say about a week ahead of everybody else. So
Mhm.
your enrollment date means that's the time that you can enroll in classes. If you are not in RISE, if you are, a continuing student in the same program, there's different dates for everybody. But as a RISE student, you all get a certain amount of time that you can enroll ahead of everybody else. Again, browse course catalog. That's classes that are being offered. Your planner, and then there's this button that says enroll by my requirements. It goes hand to hand with the previous one that we showed you about your progress report. Um, Hitting the enroll by requirements will show you, okay, I'm liberal arts. I should be taking this many credits of English, this many credits of math. These are the classes that you can take, etc. So this can sort of give you an idea of what classes you need to be taking. But obviously, talk to us first so that you are enrolled in the correct classes. An additional one, again, this page has a lot of information. It's the what if refund calculator. This will tell you how much you are going to be refunded or have to pay for a class if you decide to withdraw from it or drop it um, at a certain time. Obviously, we're going to select the start of the class being August 30th, which is when most classes will begin. And just to be cautious, I'm just going to click December 17, which is about the time some classes are done. Remember, there are 8-week classes, so that will have some effect as well. So you need
Uh,
to know.
Cesar, there's a question in the chat that would be good for everyone to hear, and it's if you drop classes one day before it starts, does it count on your record or financial aid? Is there a time the day before the class needs to be dropped?
Shaya, you want to help me with that one?
I would say you should drop the class the day before. So I would say by before midnight, so you will not be charged for that class. So and if you needed to make any changes or had questions regarding that, I will suggest consulting with your academic advisor who would be able to assist.
Again, most of our staff are working, extra hard to be able to attend any questions that you have. Um, Please, 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 the sooner the better you decide to make a change in your planner, let us know so that we're able to help you. But again, this will tell you, before certain date, you get 80% refund, you get 60% refund, etc. This
It
is
looks
not
like,
just,
oh, sorry, Caesar.
oh,
It
go ahead.
looks like Rhoda has a question, unless she mistakenly have her hand up.
No, thank you, Sharia. I do. I wanted to say 24 hours is the key word for that answer. 24 hours before the course starts. If it starts at 8 a.m. on August 30th, the first day of school, you need to drop that 24 hours before. So that would be 8 a.m. on that Sunday morning, not a minute less. So rule of thumb, just make sure it's more than 24 hours. Don't uh, don't do anything close to 24 hours. It has to be before 24 hours. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Rhoda.
Yep.
Moving forward, the profile, my profile, this is important. Um, you know, in case you have a name change, you prefer a certain name to be used. Also, communication preferences, if you prefer, you get called to a certain number, you move, etc. This is where you're going to be making those changes, and it will be reflected on our navigate and our systems, so that moving forward. And I'm gonna use Finn is here that I see you on the screen. Maybe you like to be called Finn. I don't know. Uh, yeah, so you can update that on the system, and that's how it will be reflected. Again, don't mind the student ID. That's my student ID. You're welcome um, to try and get in contact with me.
Yeah, and I would say make sure if you have any address changes that you update them, as sometimes Madison College send out like postcards and things via snail mail. So again, just make sure you are updating that information. Thank you. So for communications, this is really important because financial aid, enrollment services, grade updates, alerts, SAP status, if you do not meet SAP, or if you have completed SAP and you're waiting for your status, you will receive that communication through My Madison College here in the Communications Messaging Center. So we really, really encourage you to check this as much as you check your My Madison College email, as you are getting updates regarding, accepting your award, or if FAFSA needs more additional information, or if you need to do some verification. You really want to make sure that you're monitoring this. Also here, you will get notifications if there are any holds on your account that's preventing you from being able to enroll in classes, so you can address those with your academic advisor. So again, you really want to make sure that you're monitoring your messaging center in your My Madison College account. The other thing that you are able to do, which many students don't know, is you can actually apply for admission. So I was working with a student who was enrolled in a different program. And after talking with them, we realized that he was in the wrong program. So he was already in his My Madison College account. And I'm like, oh, you can actually access our electronic application through your My Madison College account. So the good thing is the application already has all of your information if you have submitted it electronically. So it will take you literally less than 5 minutes to complete it, because everything is already pre-populated. It's more so you're going in and updating the area of study in your academic program that you're actually applying to. Do we have any questions about that? I thought I heard something. I just want to make sure.
There's nothing in the chat right now.
Okay, thank you, Emily. So then the next thing here is Madison College Navigate.
So I was just wondering, if a student does want to change their program, do they still need to complete the form? If they do that step, will they still need to submit that form?
The apply for Madison, what form are you referring to?
It's like a change of program form.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
So there is a liberal arts transfer program form,
Yes.
and then there is a primary or multiple program form.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're changing between liberal arts programs, you fill that out. So liberal arts engineering to liberal arts education, pre-health, etc. If you wanna, let's say you applied into the business program and you wanna be in liberal arts, if it has been past those 30 days, there's also a form that's like change of application, change of program application, something like that. But that has to be done within 30 days. I want to say maybe Rhoda can help us with that, 30 days or before you're actually taking classes in the program. But for the most part, if you have started in a program and you want to be in a different one, you have to apply it into the program. It's pretty easy, 5 minutes. Most of your information is pre-populated, and then you apply into the program. 4 weeks later, you get your acceptance letter if there's no holds.
Yeah, and the key thing is making sure that you have like your primary program. So if you wish to be discontinued from a program, it's best to connect with your advisor and they can help you with that, just so then your primary program is on there, or if your primary program needs to be on there, they can help you with that paperwork, because that's the main thing that we normally see if students are applying to different programs, just making sure that financial aid is dispersed appropriately to their accounts. So yes, Madison College Navigate. So the first thing here is the to-dos, which I really like. So right under the date, you can see where it says get test books. So if you have not ordered your test books yet, this is kind of a reminder letting you know you should order them. I know test books are shipped free up until September 3rd. So if you're looking to kind of get them ordered and shipped through the bookstore, you can. If not, you can also order them and then pick them up curbside. So those are all options for you, and all of that information is, they would kind of take you to the bookstore website once you click on there. And it's also letting you know when the actual fall semester begins, when the first day of classes are. And then also if you wanted to like add some to-dos here for yourself, you can. So a reminder to schedule an appointment with your academic advisor, or schedule an appointment to complete your personal education plan before registering for the spring semester. These are all reminders that you can put here, which is really nice. You also can actually schedule an appointment. So you can actually self-schedule an appointment with your advisor, so you can avoid having to call the main advisor line, and you can self-schedule if you would like. So this is a really great tool that I would encourage you to utilize as much as possible. You also have the opportunity to kind of review summaries of your appointments. So every time you meet with an academic advisor or a coach, usually you will get a summary of what your appointment was about. So then you can always kind of review those in your history. In addition, so like in your reports, and then you can look at the summary and then any notes that they may have made. The next one here is the study buddies. This is really great because a lot of us are still virtual, or you're taking class online live, and you're really trying to figure out who can I study with, or, how can I create a sense of community with my peers. So what I would suggest for you to do is once you enroll in class and you get situated, to go back here and refer to study buddies, because you can definitely create a group. And I know that is something that RISE is kind of working towards, helping create study groups for students, especially with some of those rigorous classes. And just to kind of form a sense of community as well. So I will say, definitely check out Study Buddies. The resource tab is the most heavy, the heaviest here. I really love this tab because it kind of gives you a snapshot of like all of the resources that are available here. So you have the option to actually heart some of those too, because there are so many. So if there are some that you reference a lot, or you just want easy access to, you can kind of heart those, which is really nice. I would suggest hearting Rise. In addition, you have the opportunity to, just check out the hours, find out how to communicate, where it's located. So those are all really great. Can you go back? Because I know it was something else I wanted to highlight. So off to the left here, we have, I want to say, career planning is really important. I would suggest if someone is undecided or doesn't quite know what they want to do, but you're kind of like just taking general education classes, I would strongly suggest checking out the Career and Employment Services. They have a lot of tools available. The first thing I would suggest is attending the career planning workshop, which is really a really nice event workshop to go to, because you honestly get exposed to all of the different career tools that you have access to, and all of them are free. I find when students actually attend this, they feel so much better and have somewhat of a direction of what they want to do moving forward. So I would strongly encourage you to check out the career planning workshop. Focus 2 is our new career assessment tool. Through the career planning or through the career services. So again, those are things that you will learn about through the career planning workshop. And then, as we had just talked about, the job offerings that we have, Handshake is where you will find internships and job opportunities. So you want to make sure that you, manually, always keep going in there and looking at the Handshake. You can also work on a resume if you want through the career planning workshop. So there are a lot of things that you can do. And if you have multiple interests and wasn't quite sure how they may align, that is a great tool to utilize too. Just going to the career planning workshop and then talking to a career advisor, so they can kind of help you flush out what it is that you may want to do as a long-term career. And then can you scroll back up for me, Caesar? Thank you. I would say the next one we wanted to highlight was COVID-19. So COVID-19, I think you should always just kind of go here to kind of get any updates. So right now we have the credit or no credit grading option. So that's something that you can kind of look at. Right now we're not doing any COVID screenings, but right now a mask is mandatory when you're in the facilities, in any of our facilities inside the building. You can also learn more about emergency funding through the financial aid here. And then if you needed any technology, so like a laptop, a hotspot, any of those things, you have that information on how to get that so that you will be all set for the fall semester. If you are planning to come on campus, I think it's really important to know about the parking, transportation, and safety. So again, with the parking, there are several parking spots. There's free on campus, but you just want to make sure that you register your vehicle, which you can do easily online when you go there. So when you go to the parking on campus, it kind of takes you there, so you can kind of just put in your license plates information. So yeah, you just want to make sure that you register it, just so you won't avoid any warnings or anything like that from safety, but just wanted to make sure you were aware that parking is free on campus if you were to come to campus.